First off, let's start with some of the do's. We will start with do repurpose old content. So a lot of times when people start using Ceros or trying to think of social campaigns, they always think of net new, which is great, but there's a good chance that a lot of your old stuff that you created were still great ideas. So while some can be complete transformations, it could be as simple as adding an interactive element to a blog post, similar to you see here in this example, right? Something that does very well in SEO, can just help it pop a little bit more. Adding interactive elements can actually help increase time on page, so it makes it an even stronger article. And then for newer customers, one thing we talk about with the Ceros Studio, right, is the endless content creation possibilities. But with that, obviously come choice paralysis. Where do you actually start? So the easiest things to do is just get started with what you know best, right? So get the ball rolling. And then from there, it can kind of spider web ideas. It'll just come naturally off that one original piece of content. So all of this gives you the ability to not only have refresh content to put on social, but it also pushes forward that process of really transforming your brand into one that is interactive first, right? So that when someone actually comes in from social and they're exploring your site, it's not just a couple of interactive pieces here and there, and then mostly static pieces. So a perfect example is if you do the classic landing page to PDF download that many companies do, switch it up, right? Turn it into a fully digital experience, play around with the form placement, and just see how the performance differs. And then from there, small pieces of micro content can be used to help promote it. And now you have multiple pieces of new content from something you've already done. Next up for the do's is do use interactive content to simplify. So a lot of companies come to us from really complex industries because they want to use interactive content to make their message just easier to understand, which is definitely something that we can help out with and do on a daily basis. But this tip isn't just for those companies. It can apply to everybody. So I still see a lot of companies do it, but one of the keys to simplifying content is just to leave the large blocks of text behind. Use those interactive elements to break things up and to help clarify and leave just a clear overall message. This clip in here is a perfect example. This is sort of an intro to AI article our team put together. Obviously, AI is pretty complex. This part that we highlighted here breaks it down with an interactive clickable element that makes the concept of text to image just easier to understand than talking about it with a wall of text. So similar to how on a social platform, you have to hook somebody in to get your point across, same concept applies to the page or experience you're actually driving them to. And then finally, do give design a seat at the table. So this is something we feel very strongly about here at Ceros. So marketers and creatives don't always have the best relationships sometimes, right? Sometimes it feels a bit siloed. Us marketers kind of come in with these very vague briefs, leads to a ton of time reworking things. Overall, just far apart from the idea to the actual tangible asset. And we've all been there. So the fact is, when creative teams are more aligned on the marketing team's goals, overall vision, and just the why of everything, you put your brand in the strongest position to win.